Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Jason, and today we have the brand new AC50B from Bluetti, and this actually may be the only power bank you need at camp. This is a 448 watt hour, 700 watt peak power bank in a fairly small package. In my opinion, this fits in a really nice spot where it's going to be able to power most things at your camp. If you're someone that goes out for a day or two, you can charge your phones, you can charge your fridge, run different things off of it. And a really cool thing I do like about these smaller Bluetti ones is that you can expand these if you need more power in the future. Let's say you want a power bank to run just a few things at camp or charge your phone at night. Then you decide further down the road that you actually need a little bit more power. You could pick up the B80 that they have. And essentially that'll give you another 800 watts. So with those together, you're getting a pretty good amount of wattage around camp. Now the reason I like the idea of the smaller one with the actual attachment is because if you are somebody that goes on like a day trip here and there, then you can bring this with you. And then if you decide you want to go on a longer trip and you need a little bit more wattage, you can go ahead and add on that B80 or another add-on power bank and you can get a lot more power. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up and show you what you get inside. This is going to be your manual, warranty information here. This is going to be a 12-volt charger. You've got your solar right here, then you've got your charger, and this is really nice because it doesn't have the brick like some of them do, and that is a much better way to carry things rather than having that big brick with it. So definitely a bonus there. Lastly, you're going to actually have the unit itself right here. Pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty lightweight. It weighs about 15 pounds, so very easy and compact to carry. I do like that it has a flat surface on top so that you can set things down when you're at camp. And also that's really nice for packing because when you are putting stuff in the vehicle, if you have a big handle on top here, you can't set anything on top of it. So having that handle sort of on the top, but in the back there is a really easy way to make sure that it packs in kind of a square rather than having an awkward shape. So on the front here, this is going to be where you can plug your solar, and you can also use it as a 12-volt charger there. So that will be an input right here. So you're also going to have a DC output 12-volt right here. Now this is probably the most efficient way to run anything on this power bank. I just prefer to run off of this because with the AC there is conversion from AC to DC and back. I'll try to use this one most of the time, which is going to be your fridges, stuff like that. Anything 12 volt is probably going to run off of this. I'll choose that first, and then if I need backup, I will use this. So you've got your DC here and your AC over here. So also over here, you're going to have your DC, which is going to be USB-Cs and USB-A. So the way you're going to turn this on is you're going to hold this down here. So right out of the box here, we have 28%, so we will have to charge it up. So if you want to turn on your DC, you'll see it illuminate there. AC, you'll see it illuminate there. So you've got your input and your output over here. I have nothing drawing any battery and nothing putting any battery in here right now, so those will both be at 0. So that is basically the front here. I'll go ahead and turn that back off. So on the side here, you will have your AC input right here. But other than that, everything will be on the front, which is really nice because on some of mine, you'll have AC on the front and DC on the back. And if you have this packed into your vehicle and you can't get to the back side of it, it is really annoying. So I like having everything kind of here on the front so I can plug everything in. And then when you need to, you can pull it out to actually charge it up. But if you're on the road, it's likely you'll be using this plug here to replenish the power in your power bank. So that's everything that comes with it, everything you're going to get here on the front of the unit. All right, so let's go over some specs of the AC50B. Now this is going to be a Life PO4, so that is lithium iron phosphate battery, which is going to be pretty much the best of the best. It's going to give you about 3,000 cycles from 0 to 100 before you get down to about 80%. So I like to think of it as if you have this and you use it every single day for 3,000 days, that's how much life you would get out of it before the battery life is diminished. It also does have something called the AI BMS, and that's going to give it a lower self-discharge rate. So if you've ever had a power bank that doesn't have that and you leave it sitting out for a month and you'll notice when you turn it on, it has, diminished a little bit on its own. Well, that is going to greatly improve that. And, with Bluetti, I'll have them sitting for, weeks and weeks at a time, and I'll turn them on and they'll still be at 100%, which is definitely a reason I have kind of gravitated towards Bluettis in the last year or so. So even at 448 watt hours, this will still outperform some 500 watt hour power banks. And, that's kind of the reason I say I like to stick with kind of the top few brands, because these are going to outperform higher watt hours from companies that don't have as good of a reputation or don't have as good of components. If you have something that kind of spikes right when it starts up and it goes to 700 watts, you'll be fine here. It also does have a 1000 watt powerlifting mode, and that's going to be able to go above that 700 watt maximum for a short period of time. So if you have something that really spikes up there and goes to 1000 watts, you'll be able to run that for a little bit of time. So it also does have different recharging modes. Now, if you're in like an older house, like 40s, 50s, something like that, I like to keep mine at kind of just like the regular whatever. If you're in a newer home and you have upgraded electronics, power grid's a little bit better, then you could put it on the turbo mode. That's going to make it so that you can charge this to about 80% in 45 minutes. And if you want a full charge in that mode, it'll take just about 70 minutes to fully charge this up from 0%. Even if you're doing a last minute trip, you can go ahead and plug this in, and by the time you're done packing, this will probably be done and you'll be ready to go. So if you have a 200 watt solar panel, and I'm talking direct light, you'll be able to charge this in about 2.5 hours. So to compare to something like my bigger Bluettis, the like 200 P and some of the larger 2000 watt ones, this one is much more portable. This is only about 15 or 16 pounds. The handle position makes it super easy to grip. You can do this with one hand. You don't have to use two handles on this one because it's really not that heavy. So if you compare this to some other brands I've used in the past, similar size, about similar weight. Now granted, those were about 2 years ago, so the technology's probably gotten better on there. Those were pushing 22 to 25 pounds. Now, another thing I do like about the higher end ones like the Bluetti is they do have that UPS protection. So basically when it is plugged into the wall, it is going to skip through the actual power bank and it's just going to charge whatever it is off the wall. So if you have your desktop running off of this and this is plugged into the wall, you will actually be running off of the grid power. And if there's a storm, something happens, cuts off the grid power, and you have that protection so that you don't have whatever's plugged into this shutting off. It will instantly kick back in. So nothing that's actually going to interrupt whatever is plugged into the power bank. Pretty extreme example here, but this is going to be a heater and we can put this at a pretty high load. I'm going to put it on the power lifting mode just in case, and we'll see how this thing handles it. Like we said, we can go up to about 700 watts, but with the power lifting mode, we can go a little bit higher. Heat level 1, we're getting about 500 watts, 600 watts here. We're on level 2. Now level 2 will sometimes actually trip the one in my house, so that's pretty good that we're handling it here on this second level here. Now this third one will very likely trip it. Let's see. Actually, it seems like it's doing just fine, putting out good heat. So basically we are going to go ahead and connect to this, and super easy to do. And then you've got controls here. You can turn on your DC output. You can turn on your AC output here as well. You can get your battery information. If you have this packed away in your vehicle and you're up in your rooftop tent, then you can go ahead and check and see, oh, I'm at 70% battery, my fridge is running, everything's good to go, no issues there. And here's where you can change your actual charging modes. Like I said, I keep mine on standard. There's also a silent, and then there is the turbo. The silent mode is going to make it so it's a lot quieter. I don't have an issue with the standard mode noise, so I just keep it on standard. And then if you really need to, you have that powerlifting mode, and that's going to be where you can charge things over that 700 watts that it is rated for. And if you need to do any upgrades here, you can do that in the firmware. Advanced settings, you can change it from 60 hertz to 50 hertz. I usually just leave it on 60. No issues there. All right, guys, so I'll drop a link below to check this out, and I'll also put the battery that you can extend this with. And I also do think this is a really good size for a lot of people. You know, the average person, if you're just going out for a day or two, you don't have a ton of stuff to charge, you'll probably be able to get away with 448 watts. And if not, you decide you want some more, then you can add on something else a little bit later. But that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out this video. Check out the links below. Like this video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.